Good. And probability, thermodynamic probability, omega here is thermodynamic probability. Omega is nothing. Thermodynamic probability, number of accessible microstates to a particular macro state. For a macro state, I am going to define what is macro state. For a macro state, how many accessible microstates are there corresponding to a particular macro state? We will define what is macro state, don't worry. What is just omega? Where is entropy? You know in great detail. Omega is called thermodynamic probability. It is nothing. Number of accessible micro states to a macro state. In simplest word, in a particular macro state, macro, big, how many micro states are there? That is called thermodynamic probability. And every system naturally moves towards the state of maximum probability, and system moves towards the state of maximum probability. Maximum probability means, in simple words, most probable state. The system, whenever probability is maximum, then the system is said to be in what state? Most probable state. And most probable state, when the probability is maximum, when the system is reaching towards equilibrium. So thermodynamic equilibrium means the state of maximum probability, and it is amounting to maximum entropy. So that is how this connection is there, that entropy is proportional to omega. Which function? So try to appreciate. First of all, try to see the syllabus. Statistical thermodynamics. It starts from this relationship. I will just give the derivation of this formula and build up. There are two kinds of statistics. Already I said classical statistics. Classical statistics. And already I said statistics means probability distribution. Statistics means study of probability distributions, how the different probability states are achieved. So classical statistics deals with what kind of particles? Distinguishable particles. First essential requirement is the particle must be distinguishable. What is the criteria of distinguishability? That I will tell you. Deals with distinguishable particles. And quantum statistics. Quantum statistics. Indistinguishable particles. Quantum statistics is two kinds. Bose-Einstein and this is Fermi-Dirac. And this name is Maxwell-Boltzmann. Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics is classical statistics, dealing with what kind of particles? Distinguishable particles. This is typically year 1875. It is 1926. It is 1927. Years also must be very clear. Concept of electron spin. The particles are performing spin motion. That is rotation about their own axis. This is 1925. And spin is purely quantum mechanical concept. Spin is a purely quantum mechanical concept. And which year? 1925. Whether the particle spins or particle does not spin. Whether the particle is having a spin or it is not having a spin, before 1925, no one knows that there is anything called spin. Try to understand. So classical particle, there is no question of spin. Even they can have a spin, but there is no knowledge of spin when the classical statistics is being built. Try to understand that point. So criteria of spin will come only when, and already I said, another background. Spin is purely quantum mechanical concepts. Only in quantum distribution this question of spin will come. Full integral spin or half integral spin. Full integral spin is called bosons, half integral spin is called fermions. So criteria of spin, not that classical particles may not have spin, that understand, classical particle may also have spin, but spin is not known to me. So spin is not any criteria for filling the particles in classical statistics. Classical statistics is dealing with the distinguishable particles, and when the particles are distinguishable, there is no restriction on number of particles per cell. There is no restriction on the number of particles per cell. What is cell we will define. So no restriction in this classical mechanics. This characteristic is dealing with the distinguishable particles. Spin is not required. Here spin is also required. It is spin could be 0, 1, 2. Spin could be half 3 by 2. So spin is a criteria for quantum particles. Good. And half spin or full integral spin, that depends upon whether they obey Pauli's exclusion principle or not. So Fermi-Dirac statistics is for those particles which obey Pauli's exclusion principle. What is Pauli's exclusion principle? No two electrons can occupy the same state, because same state means all the same set of quantum numbers. So no two electrons can occupy same state. That is Pauli's exclusion. So Pauli's exclusion principle is not valid for classical particles. Pauli's exclusion principle is also not valid for Bose-Einstein. Pauli's exclusion principle is a restriction imposed on number of particles per cell, that is there only on quantum particles. This is fermions, only for fermions. Good. So syllabus is nothing. What is syllabus? Derivations. Derivation. First of all, concept of what is microstate and what is macrostate, which I am going to illustrate, because thermodynamic probability starts from number of microstates to a particular macrostate. So I will build up what is this thing. So derive an expression for probability distribution for all the three statistics. That is the main thing. Derivations for Maxwell-Boltzmann, Fermi-Dirac and Bose-Einstein. Then apart from derivations, there are few applications. Maxwell-Boltzmann, there are only two applications into the syllabus. One is Maxwell-Boltzmann velocity distribution formula or speed distribution formula. Consequence of the same formula is equipartition of energy principle and concept of negative temperature. This is the syllabus of Maxwell-Boltzmann distributions. क्या है syllabus में? Derivation of Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution formula, and extremely important, because whole paper 2 I will keep on using these distributions. Maxwell-Boltzmann, whenever the temperature is more than room temperature, I will say that what is the statistics followed? Maxwell-Boltzmann. Population at any level is determined by Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution. So Maxwell-Boltzmann has to be understood very nicely. Most often it suffices to give the number of particles at any energy level. Good. So Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution and its three well-defined applications. If I say three, कौन से हैं तीन? Velocity distribution formula, equipartition of energy principle, and another concept of negative temperature. ये application सिर्फ एक क्लास के हैं, सिर्फ एक क्लास के हैं. एक क्लास में डेरिवेशन हो जाएगा और एक क्लास में पूरी महाभारत, 3 क्लास में खत्म. मैक्सवेल-बोल्ट्जमैन डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कितनी क्लास में खत्म? एक क्लास में पूरी महाभारत जो आज शुरू हो रही है कि कैसा डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है, कौन से कैसे बनाएंगे, थर्मोडायनामिक प्रोबेबिलिटी कैसे लिखेंगे, माइक्रोस्टेट क्या है, मैक्रोस्टेट क्या है. एक क्लास में डेरिवेशन हो गया मैक्सवेल-बोल्ट्जमैन डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन. उसके बाद 5 मिनट में फेर्मी-डिराक और 5 मिनट में बोस-आइंस्टीन. बस डेरिवेशन इतने में हो जाएगा. मतलब अगर मैं एक क्लास लूँ तो पूरे के पूरे डेरिवेशन एक आज की क्लास में खत्म हो जाएंगे, तीनों डेरिवेशंस. क्योंकि तीनों में एक ही काम करना है. कब निकालना है नंबर ऑफ डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन? एट इक्विलिब्रियम. एंड इक्विलिब्रियम इज द स्टेट ऑफ मैक्सिमम प्रोबेबिलिटी. प्रोबेबिलिटी को मैक्सिमाइज करना है. देयर विद सर्टेन कांस्टेंट्स. व्हाट आर द कांस्टेंट्स दैट आई विल टॉक इन टर्म्स ऑफ दिस थिंग्स. सो 3 क्लास में मैक्सवेल-बोल्ट्जमैन पूरी तरीके से खत्म हो जाएगा. टुडेज क्लास बैकग्राउंड, देन नेक्स्ट क्लास फॉर द डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन and applications. There are 3 applications. Maximum it is 1 and 1.5 classes. ठीक है जी. All questions will be answered. Sheet number 25. Sheet number 25 deals with Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution and their applications. How many applications? velocity distribution formula, equipartition of energy principle and concept of negative temperature. चौथा application syllabus में नहीं है, only 3 application. Fermi-Dirac distribution, मैक्सवेल बोल्ट्जमैन कर लिया तो कितनी मिनट में हो जाएगा? बहुत स्लो होगा तो 10-15 मिनट में हो जाएगा. GI-CNI क्या लिखना है? GI-CNI कॉम्बिनेशन बनाना है. GI सेल्स कितने चूज करने हैं उसमें? NI. तो GI कॉम्बिनेशन NI फैक्टोरियल GI अपॉन फैक्टोरियल NI फैक्टोरियल GI माइनस NI मैक्सिमाइज. कैसे करना है? जो मैथमेटिक्स करनी है स्टिलिंग अप्रॉक्सीमेशन लगा के सब में एक ही मैथमेटिक्स करनी है. झटके से तुरंत बता दूंगा. ln GI बाई NI माइनस 1. दूसरे में हो जाएगा ln GI बाई NI प्लस 1 डी ओमेगा. जोड़ दिया तीनों को. डेरिवेशन इज बिफोर यू. 5 मिनट का है, लेकिन आप धीरे धीरे करोगे तब भी आधा घंटे में एक, आधा घंटे में दूसरा, 1 घंटे में दोनों डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन फिनिश्ड. बोस-आइंस्टीन डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन का जो सिलेबस लिखा हुआ है वो सिर्फ हाफ एन आवर का है. हाफ आवर 10 मिनट में डेरिवेशन हो जाएगा प्लैंक्स रेडिएशन फार्मूला, और 1 घंटे में हो जाएगा जो उसके सब अपनी छोटे मोटे एप्लीकेशन हैं जो वहाँ पर लिखे हुए थे. कहाँ पर लिखे हुए थे? EM थ्योरी के सिलेबस में जो लिखा हुआ था सीट नंबर 19. सो उसके लिए ब्लैक बॉडी रेडिएशन आई हैव टू टेक 1 फुल क्लास because I have to cover. If I have to teach only the syllabus of statistical thermodynamics, it is hardly half an hour job after doing the derivation. But if I have to take the whole sheet, electromagnetic theory, I am taking the syllabus of black body radiation from electromagnetic theory. Derivation I have Planck's radiation formula I am going to do using Bose-Einstein distribution, which is 10 minutes. Then alternative derivation done by the Max Planck, another 15-20 minutes. And then all applications. So one full class I am going to take for black body radiation as an application of Bose-Einstein distribution. Similarly, one full class for Fermi-Dirac distribution and 3 classes for Maxwell-Boltzmann with all the things. So how many classes? 5 classes. एक क्लास बचेगी, वो जाएगी किसके लिए? स्पेसिफिक हीट ऑफ सॉलिड्स. और वो कहूँगा कि उससे पेपर 2 भी खत्म हो गया. जो जो लिखा हुआ है पेपर 2 के सॉलिड स्टेट फिजिक्स में, दैट इज आल्सो कवर्ड. करेक्ट. 6 क्लासेस. ठीक है जी. ये कौन सा वीक है? सेकेंड वीक है. अभी सेकेंड वीक है ना ये. आज बहुत खूब समय है. 6 क्लास लेनी है. कितनी लेनी है? 6. उसके बाद फिर से एंट्रोपी की जो सीट वीट के जो छोटे मोटे क्वेश्चंस रह गए हैं वो देखेंगे. और क्योंकि नेक्स्ट क्लास कब से स्टार्ट है? नेक्स्ट कोर्स 25 August, not before that. Next course starts from 25th August, quantum mechanics paper 2. And for quantum mechanics also I am going to derive Planck's radiation formula by Max Planck. Planck's radiation formula within 2 lines, 2 line use करूँगा. Bose-Einstein distribution, within 5 minutes I can derive Planck's radiation formula using Bose-Einstein distribution. But Bose-Einstein distribution is which year? 1926. Planck derived this formula in 1900 using Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics. Using Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics. So I cannot do that derivation also without introducing Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution. So Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution is so important that by the help of Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution, Max Planck, who started quantum mechanics, whole quantum world, quantum theory was started by Max Planck to explain black body radiation, energy distribution in any black body radiation at equilibrium temperature T. If any iron rod is heated at equilibrium temperature T, how does it radiate out energy? Initially its color is red, but when it is further heated, color becomes blue. So that transfer from red to blue. How the color of an iron rod goes from red to blue, that is the energy distribution. Red is highest wavelength, lowest frequency. Blue, highest frequency, lowest wavelength. So energy is dependent upon lambda or nu frequency. So how that is distribution is there, that was accomplished by Max Planck, and by Max Planck all the existing laws of black body radiation. Wien's distribution law much before Max Planck, 1875. Then your Rayleigh-Jeans law, 1882. And then Stephen Boltzmann law. They were the 3 existing laws. They become subset from Max Planck's formula. All these things can be derived within 5 minutes. 5 मिनट का काम है. If Max Planck's formula I derive, then at one end of the frequency spectrum it gives rise to your Wien's distribution law. Other end of the frequency spectrum it gives you your Rayleigh-Jeans law. And if I take the integration, Stephen-Boltzmann law. So from Max, all the three are derived from Max Planck's formula only. Planck derived formula on its own by doing something, and we will build that thing. So syllabus मालूम पड़ गया. Statistical thermodynamics, classical statistics deals with distinguishable particles. Distinguishable particles means what is the fundamental of distinguishable particles? No restriction on number of particles per cell. Any number of particles can occupy. So what is cell? How we will divide? So on and so forth. No assembly is at absolute zero, because by third law of thermodynamics, you know, absolute zero is unattainable. So when absolute zero is unattainable, that means no assembly can be at absolute zero. That means all particles are always in motion. If absolute zero is not there, because translational kinetic energy becomes zero only when the temperature is absolute zero. Absolute zero is unattainable. That means the particles are always in motion. So I have given the logic that any assembly, any dynamical system is made up, and particle is a much broader word than atoms, molecules or nuclei or anything you want to say. Particles incorporates everything. Particle can have mass, particle can have spin, particle can have charge, particle can have different kind of things. So I am talking any dynamical system. Dynamical system means the system which is in motion and it is having energy by virtue of its motion, that is at least it is having kinetic energy. Correct? Every dynamical system will have kinetic energy, and kinetic energy means by virtue of having momentum. Kinetic energy means by virtue of having momentum. And I am assuming these particles, classical particles at least, energy is p square by 2m. What is the energy? P square by 2m, because dynamical motion energy is p square by 2m. If I will say particle is having 3 degrees of freedom, free to move all the 3 directions, then this kinetic energy will become px square, py square, pz square. Correct? By 2m. Good, due to motion. And another assumption, if I assume that particles are non-interacting, if I make this assumption that particles are non-interacting, then the system is said to be ideal system. Ideal system means what assumption? Particles are non-interacting. If particles are non-interacting, that means there is no internal energy content of the assembly is not due to potential function. It is only due to kinetic energy. So energy is only p square by 2m. Non-relativistic energy, that is what we are going to do. Good. So for any particle, assembly of particles may have very large number of particles. 1 gram mole even if I consider, then how many particles? 10 raised to power 23 order. So try to understand, when I say total n is order of 10 raised to power 23, that many large number of particles are there. Good. And for defining the motion of any particle, we will require at least 3 momentum coordinates. 3-dimensional motion only I am talking. 3-dimensional translational motion, not rotational motion. 3-dimensional translational motion with energy I am assuming only p square by 2m. And definitely positions. Definitely positions. Correct? If these particles, momentum and position, both of them cannot be measured with the same level of accuracy. Whether it is a classical particle or quantum particle. Only difference between classical particle and quantum particle is that even for classical particle, product of delta x and delta p is a constant quantity. Delta x, motion along x-axis, and the momentum along that axis is a constant quantity. That means if one thing is precisely known, then another thing becomes infinitely uncertain. Good. Difference between classical and quantum is delta x, delta px is constant. Classical, and this is governed by Poisson bracket. This I say they are Poisson bracket. X is one-dimensional motion, displacement along with the momentum along that direction is a constant quantity. That means what is delta px? Constant upon delta x. If precisely known, position is precisely known, then momentum is infinitely uncertain. If it is a quantum particle, then only difference is that this product is h cross. This is of the order of h or h cross, greater than or equal to h cross by 2. This product, this constant, whatever I am calling, this constant I can call h, order of h or same as order of h cross. There is no difference. Is a quantum particle. This constant is called Planck's constant if it is a quantum particle. Otherwise, this is constant. So, for defining the motion, one-dimensional motion, how many coordinates are required for one particle? One-dimensional motion, 2 coordinates, x and px. Good. Two-dimensional motion, how many are required? 4. Let us say delta x, x, y, px, py. Three-dimensional motion of a single particle, 6 coordinates. And system is having how many particles? Capital N number of particles. System is having capital N number of particles. So how many total coordinates are required? 6 n coordinates are required. 6 n. If just only what kind of motion? Only I am considering translational motion. If particle is having translational motion, then 3 coordinates for space and 3 coordinates for momentum. So for a single particle there are 6 coordinates required. N particles, 6 n. Good. Then there could be rotation also. There could be time also. There could be different other coordinates. Good. So in general, if there are f degrees of freedom, then how many total coordinates will be required for a single particle? 2f. X, if I say f degrees of freedom, 4 degrees of freedom, 5 degrees of freedom for a single particle, 3 for translation and 2 for rotation, 1 may be for vibration, 6. If a particle is having 6 degrees of freedom simple, then there will be momentum associated with every coordinates. So f degrees of freedom there are for a single particle, how many of them are required? 2f. Good. This hypothetical space, I am going to, in order to describe the motion of all these dynamical particles, which I am saying very broadly, how many degrees of freedom? F degrees of freedom. F, if n particle I could have called nf. N particles, then how many degrees of freedom? Nf. Then how many coordinates totally required? 2 nf coordinates are required. 2 nf coordinates are required. This hyper, and for 3-dimensional motion, if I say energy is only p square by 2m, if I consider energy is only p square by 2m, that is particle is having only, they are in random motion, only energy they are having by virtue of temperature, that is only they are having kinetic energy. Then how many dimensional space? 6-dimensional space, 3 for momentum and 3 for this thing, 3 for position. Very general 2f dimensional space. This is called phase space. What is it called? Phase space. So what is phase? What is the purpose of phase space? Purpose of phase space is to specify the dynamics or dynamical motion of any system, any thermodynamic system. Thermodynamic system comprises of particles in motion, and particle in motion means typically I can have 2f dimensional space. Good. And if I consider energy to be only p square by 2m, then its space has to be how many dimensional? 6-dimensional space. Good. This 6-dimensional space, what is the constant for this? I have said energy I am considering only p square by 2m, which is nothing. Whatever the assumptions you want to make, you can say it is non-relativistic kinetic energy. And I am having here also I am assuming assumption that particles are non-interacting. That means no other energy is there, only energy is p square by 2m. So I am creating phase space. Phase space, a hypothetical concept, hypothetical mathematical concept. For f-dimensional motion, there are 2f coordinates. For f-dimensional motion, there are 2f coordinates, f degrees of freedom. F is the degree of freedom. Then 2f coordinates, 2f, this 2f dimensional space, 2f dimensional hypothetical space. F dimensions for positions. Primary variables could be, for example, x, y, z, theta, t. They are all primary variables. Then associated with them dynamical variables. Then f dynamical variables, which are canonical conjugate. Dynamical variables are I have used the word canonical conjugate. Canonical conjugate means error of one is reciprocal of error of other. So along with x, what is canonical conjugate dynamical variable? Px. This is Py. This is Pz and theta के साथ क्या? J theta angular momentum. और t के साथ क्या? Time के साथ क्या? Energy. Delta E, delta t. Good. So all of them, delta x, delta px is constant. For classical particle, delta x, delta px is constant. Delta y, delta py is constant. Delta z, delta pz is constant. Delta theta, delta g theta is constant. Delta t, delta e is constant. This constant I am calling all the statistics h. I am calling this constant h. H can have any value, any small value, any. Then it is called classical statistics. Quantum statistics, this h is only and only Planck constant. That is the only restriction. ठीक? So if it is f dimensional space, जरा देखते हैं, जरा दिखाते हैं आपको. Now I will divide this f dimensional space into very infinitesimally small volume element. Infinitesimally small volume element. Good. All of them are of the same volume. I am dividing this space into infinitesimally small volume element. Good. So if I consider 2f dimensional, then what? Delta x, delta p, delta x. How I am going to divide? Delta x, delta px, delta y, delta py, delta z, delta pz. This is when just 3-dimensional motion, energy is p square by 2m. If energy is p square by 2m, then this is 6-dimensional space. This is a 6-dimensional space. ठीक है जी? ये भी लिख सकता था, next ये भी लिख सकता था, delta t theta, delta j theta, delta t relativity. If the velocity would have been comparative velocity of light, next thing I would have written delta t, delta e. They are all. So what is this value? H. What is this? H. Good. So what is the total? This is what I have written. Infinitesimally small volume. So in phase space I have divided it into momentum and position, x and px. Area is x and px. Infinite small volume element. So h. What is the volume? h raised to power f. ये सब जनरेट कर दिया, हटा दिया, सब हटा दिया. नथिंग. क्या लिख सकता हूँ देखो, डेल्टा क्यू आर, डेल्टा बी क्यू आर, आर गोज अप टू एफ, डेल्टा एक्स, डेल्टा वाई, डेल्टा जेड अप टू डेल्टा क्यू, and to be precise, this r will go up to what? F. F is the degree of freedom. F is the degree of freedom. If degree of freedom is 1, then what is the if only one dimensional motion, then what is the volume of one cell? Delta x, delta px. Delta x, delta px. One dimensional motion is only h. 2-dimensional motion, plane motion, h square. 3-dimensional motion, h cube. F-dimensional motion, h raised to power f. Correct? This is the volume of S. This is called cell. What is this called? Classical statistics is called cell. Phase space is divided into cell. Phase space is divided into cell. Correct? And many contiguous cells is called zone. Many contiguous cells is called zone. Good. So every cell is having almost equal volume. Volume of a cell is a same for all cells. ठीक है जी. Volume of cell is same for all cells. So I have divided the phase space. Whatever the volume may be given to you. So now central problem in any distribution is what? How many particles? How many particles? N. They have to be fixed. They have to be filled in total volume capital V. V is the volume of the container. V is the volume of the container. Wherever these particles have to be kept. So N number of particles have to be filled in total volume V. Good. Say the dx, dy, dz over the entire space minus infinity to 25 will integrate dx, dy, dz up to delta qf. Good. This is total volume V. This is the total volume V. ठीक है ना? ऐसे ये कितने भी हो dx, dy, dz, dq, total value is V. One cell is h raised to power f, but total how many cells are there? That is V upon h raised to power f. In the entire space, how many cells are there? That is V. So phase space. So for why is the concept of phase space? In order to describe the motion of a dynamical system. When the system is dynamical, particles are in motion, then I will divide this in phase space, and phase space is divided into cells. All cells are having same volume. Any number of cells put together along with contiguous cells, it is called zone. H raised to power f. Good. What is the difference between classical statistics and quantum statistics? Fundamental difference between classical and quantum is, apart from the distinguishable particle and indistinguishable particles, this H is any constant, any arbitrary constant in classical statistics. Any arbitrary constant, while in quantum statistics H is nothing, Planck constant. You cannot arbitrarily choose H. H is what? Planck constant. Good. So very important concept. Why, how the distinguishability comes, how the particles are made distinguishable, or why every particle is otherwise identical. Whether it is classical statistics or quantum statistics, every particle appears to be identical, similar, indistinguishable. But how do I make them distinguishable? For making the particles distinguishable, this is the main concept. H in classical statistics, H is any arbitrary constant. I can choose H as small as possible. I have got freedom to say delta x, delta px is constant. Any constant, it could be very small quantity. Good, it can be smaller than Planck constant. This could be smaller than Planck constant, correct? So H raised to power f will become further small. So volume of one cell will become very small. Number of cells will be very large. In classical statistics, because I am having freedom to choose H arbitrary constant, therefore number of cells, because volume of cell can be as small as possible. H is small, H raised to power f will become further small. So if volume of cell becomes small, total number of particles fixed, total volume fixed. Central problem क्या है? N fixed, total number of particles are constant. They have to be filled in what? Total volume V. And volume of cell I can make as small as possible. So number of cells can be as large as possible. In classical statistics, quantum statistics, that freedom I do not have, because that is restricted by Planck constant. Good. Heisenberg uncertainty principle is restricting you in the quantum statistics. So number of cells will be restricted, while here number of cells can be as large as possible. So if number of cells are large, I can make particles distinguishable. That helps us making the particles distinguishable. Try to understand. क्लास में सिर्फ 50 बैठे हैं, हाँ 50 बैठे हैं, सब कोई डिस्टिंग्विशेबल है. हर एक का नाम मैं झटके से जिस दिन आए थे उसी दिन तुम्हारा नाम बोल सकता हूँ. मेरे पास इतना गट्स है क्योंकि मैं स्टैटिस्टिकल थर्मोडायनामिक्स पढ़ाता हूँ. फर्स्ट डे से हर एक का नाम यहाँ से बोल सकता हूँ. मैं यहाँ से खड़े होकर ऐसे हर एक का नाम बोल सकता हूँ, और सब क्या है? इनडिस्टिंग्विशेबल हैं. एक को भी नहीं पहचानता हूं, लेकिन मैंने होशियारी का यूज किया अपनी, और क्या कर दिया? हर एक का यहां से कहूंगा भाई साहब 47 नंबर सीट पे जो बैठी हुई खड़े हो जाओ. सीट का नंबरिंग कर दिया क्योंकि मेरे पास 50 हैं. सीट की नंबरिंग कर दी. रोल नंबर 1 आने के साथ ही बाहर का जो मेरा रिसेप्शन है उसने कह दिया रोल नंबर 1 ये बैठे हुए. और रोल नंबर 1 मेरे पास लिखा हुआ है, रोल नंबर 1 में सुमित कुमार बैठे हैं जी, सुमित कुमार, यहाँ देखा रोल नंबर 1 सुमित कुमार, सीट नंबर 1 में सुमित कुमार बैठे हैं। सीट नंबर 33 सुमिता देवी बैठी हैं। गुड, मैंने क्या बना दिया इसको, डिस्टिंग्विशेबल कर लिया, क्योंकि क्या है मेरे पास इतने सेल्स हैं, इतनी सीट्स हैं, सीट ही असाइन कर दूं। बड़ी क्लास में क्या होता है, टीचर रोल नंबर ही तो असाइन कर देता है। रोल नंबर 1 अटेंडेंस कैसे कॉल करता है, जब कम होते हैं 20 25 30 होते हैं तो टीचर अटेंडेंस कैसे लेते हैं, नाम से लेते हैं। लेकिन जैसे ही 100 हो गए क्लास में और अटेंडेंस लेना है तो क्या करेगा वो, रोल नंबर 1, रोल नंबर 2, रोल नंबर 3, रोल नंबर 4 ऐसे करके झट करेगा। क्या कर दिया उसने, और रोल नंबर उसे मालूम है एक नंबर किसका है, जैसे, और सबको बता दिया एक नंबर तुम्हारा है भाई, 2 नंबर तुम्हारा है, 860305 तुम्हारा है, फला फला, जिसका कितना भी बड़ा रोल नंबर हो आपको याद करा दिया गया है। सो यू हैव बिकम व्हाट, distinguishable. So this is the criteria of distinguishability, because number of cells can be as large as possible, because I am having freedom of choosing this constant h. दोनों को सिंप्लिसिटी के लिए मैंने h को h रख दिया, h की जगह यहाँ कुछ भी कह सकता था, I could have called anything, because h will work for classical statistics as well as for quantum statistics. Correct? So volume of one cell is what, h raised to power f. One dimensional cell, it is h. For 2 dimensional motion, h square. 3 dimensional motion, h cube, so on and so forth. Not interested. How many cells? How do I find out the cells? Number of cells in free space, in phase space. And let us say motion is dynamical motion, is only energy is having p square by 2m, no other energy, non-interacting particles is p square by 2m. I want to get number of cells between momentums p and p plus dp. p and p plus dp. p and p plus dp means, देखो p है क्या वैसे, देखो p वैसे क्या है, pxi pyj pz के, मोमेंटम इज अ वेक्टर क्वांटिटी, px स्क्वायर प्लस py स्क्वायर, ये भी बात समझना है, p स्क्वायर, px स्क्वायर प्लस py स्क्वायर प्लस pz स्क्वायर इज p स्क्वायर. गुड, दिस इज इक्वेशन ऑफ स्पेयर, दिस इज इक्वेशन ऑफ स्पेयर ऑन ए मोमेंटम स्पेस. This is px, this is py, this is pz. Put together is p square. Good. Px square plus py square plus pz, magnitude p square. If I want to get between px, p and p plus dp, this is p and I have to draw between p and p plus dp. How many cells are there? How many cells will be there between p and p plus dp? Good. So for p and p plus dp, if I write momentum from p to p plus dp or p plus delta p, then what? Px plus dpx, py plus p dpy, pz plus dpz. That means another square of radius p plus dp. I have to draw another square of radius p plus dp. This is p, this is dp. That means this is dpx, this is dpy, this is dpz. Good. So I am trying to find out number of cells between p and p plus dp. Try to appreciate number of cells in phase space. And how phase space I am specifying by momentums, motion. So number of cells if I want to get in phase space between p and p plus dp. Number of cells in phase space between p and p plus dp. This notation I am calling GP dp. And remember, P is from here root to AB. Only I have considered that energy is non-relativistic. This what is number of cells between P and P plus dp? What is the notation I am using? GP dp. Good. If I want to get up to P, I would have integrated GP dp. Number of, this is notation. So what will be GP dp? What is GPDP? What do I mean by GPDP? Number of cells having momentums between Px and Px plus dPx, Py and Px and Px plus dPx and Py and Py plus dPy and Pz and Pz plus dPz. Then only it is having momentum P and P plus dP. Simultaneously having Px and Px plus dPx, Py and Py plus dPy, Pz and Pz plus dPz. That region is called this. Correct. What part in phase space this will mean? Which part in phase space? GPDP. What part in phase space? देखो जी, dx dy dz तो आएगा ही ना. फेस स्पेस में आएगा कि नहीं आएगा? dx dy dz and dpx dpy dpz. This is the region of phase space. In this region of phase space, they will have momentum between Px and Px plus dPx, Py and Py plus dPy, Pz and Pz plus dPz. So I am just writing, right opposite. This GPDP I am doing dx, dy, dz, dpx, dpy, dpz. अच्छा क्या लिख से पहले वो divided by volume of one cell. This I would have one line before I would have written. What I would have written? GPDP is volume in phase space between momenta Px and Px plus dPx. Words I am writing in words. Py and Py plus dPy, Pz and Pz plus dPz divided by volume of one cell. So this would have become integration. I will use dx, dy, dz, dpx, dpy, dpz upon hq. Good. What is this total dx, dy, dz, total integration? Total volume V I am trying to get. Correct? This whole minus infinity to infinity, minus infinity to infinity, minus infinity to infinity. Entire volume V. This volume is dx, dy, dz. Is the volume of the container. This is the volume of the container. And momentum intervals are dpx, dpy, dpz. What is this dx, dy, dz? बता सकते हो? इसको अगर मैं dv कह देता है dt, what is this value? This how they are connected? x square plus y square plus z square is r square. dx, dy, dz. What is this value? dx, dy, dz. Volume? देखो जी आराम से. This is r. This is dx. This is dy. This is dz. This is r plus dr. So what is dx, dy, dz? 4 pi r square dr. Volume of the sphere between volume of the sphere of the radius r plus dr minus volume of the sphere of the radius r, which is nothing, 4 pi r square dr. So this value dx, dy, dz is equal to what? 4 pi r square dr. And this has to be understood because everywhere in quantum mechanics I am going to use. From today is 16, 17, 8 दिन के बाद से क्वांटम मैकेनिक्स शुरू होने वाली है. हर जगह यही यूज करना है मुझे. That is why I am building up this. I am building up this zero, nothing to do with this statistical mechanics. Very simple thing I am writing. So dx, dy, dz is 4 pi r square. So this first term becomes what? What is this first term? This is V upon HQ. total volume is V, and dpx, dpy, dpz is 4 pi p square dp. 4 pi p square dp. यही सब समझना है. How many cells between P and P plus dp in volume V? Total particles are n. I am dividing n particles into total volume V. If their momentums are between Px and Px plus dp, xpy and py plus dpy, pz and pz plus dpz, then how many cells are there? Number of cells between P and P plus dp is Px and Px plus dpx, py and py plus dpy, pz and pz plus dpz in the entire volume V. So volume V divided by h cube into the momentum intervals, correct? So V by h cube 4 pi p square dp. This is the population for what? What I have calculated? Gp dp. V upon h cube 4 pi p square dp. 4 pi V upon h cube p square dp. If I want to write in terms of velocity, same logic for velocity. Vx, Vi, Vx, Vi, Vy, Vj is V vector between V and V plus dV. dVx, dVy, dz is 4 pi V square dV. 3 dimensions. If it is 3 dimensional, 1 dimension is simply dVx. 1 dimension is simply dVx. But it's 3 dimensional speed, that V and V plus dV, that is Vx and Vx plus dVx, Vy and Vy plus dVy, Vz and Vz plus dVz. I would have written V by h cube 4 pi V square dV, and here I would have written the formula GV dV. Kya? GV dV. If I want to write anywhere, try to appreciate. If I want to write GV dV, what is the notation GV dV? Number of cells between V and V plus dV in total volume V. In total volume V. So what I would have written? V by h cube 4 pi V square dV. Wherever the need will arise, I will write. Wherever the need will arise, I am going to write. Good. I can also convert this into G nu D nu. Photon होता है photon. Photon का momentum कितना? Photon का momentum कितना? h nu by c. Photon is only energy. E by c. Photon is only energy. E by c. E है photon के लिए. कोई ध्यान ही नहीं था क्या करते. E square is what? P square c square. m naught square c raised to 4 for photon. m naught is 0. E क्या हो गया जी? Pc. P क्या हो गया जी? E by c. And photon is a quanta of electromagnetic energy. So h nu by c. P is h nu by c. H is a constant. C is a constant. So dp कितना हो जाएगा जी? h by c d nu. h by c d nu. लिख दो यहाँ. For 4 pi nu cube upon c cube d nu. Per unit volume, number of cells per unit volume. But electromagnetic energy, then this is having 2 modes of polarizations. 2 perpendicular directions could be there. Electromagnetic wave, then this will be 8 pi nu square. ले लो जी. अगर मैं इसी को जी न्यू डी न्यू में ट्रांसलेट करूँ, जी न्यू डी न्यू, if I translate into G nu D nu, connection is P is h nu by c. If I use this formula, that means I am dictating with what kind of particles? Zero rest mass particles. Zero rest mass particles. They travel with velocity of light. 4 pi V upon h cube P square h square by c square nu square dp h by c d nu. ये लो जी, एच क्यूब कट गया, क्या आ गया जी? 4 पाई न्यू स्क्वायर. 4 पाई न्यू स्क्वायर डी न्यू अपॉन सी क्यूब. डी न्यू डी न्यू बाई वी. नंबर ऑफ सेल्स पर यूनिट वॉल्यूम. नंबर ऑफ सेल्स पर यूनिट वॉल्यूम. If there are two different modes of polarizations, electromagnetic waves are transverse. Electromagnetic waves are transverse. This is the direction of propagation. Then there will be two different modes for the vibration, this or this. Then here I have to multiply by 2. This is the number of cells in an electromagnetic wave, 8 pi nu square by c cube. Is a longitudinal wave, elastic waves. Then along the direction of motion, I would have only written 4 pi nu square by c cube. This is GPDP. Very general I would have written. GPDP कैसे लिख दिया जी? D3R D3P upon D3 dimensional motion, F dimensional motion. I would have written DFR DFP upon H raised to power F. If we have a dimensional motion, F degrees of freedom, if I say, very general. If I say F degree of freedom, then DFR DFP upon H raised to DFR, whatever is DFR is always V. This is always V. This is V upon H raised to power F or H cube. D3P means 4 pi P square dP. 4 pi P square dP. Only P is Px square plus Py square plus Pz square. P is nothing. Px square plus Py square plus Pz square. Whether relativistic or non-relativistic or anything. Anything. V upon H cube. How many cells are there? V by H cube 4 pi P square dP. If I want to write, इसको बदल दें GED में, बहुत बार ये यूज करें. What is GED? What is GED? What is GPDP? Number of cells between P and P plus DP. P means all the three dimensional. If I would have written only GPX DPX तो क्या हो जाता है यहाँ पर? बताओ. अगर सिर्फ GPX DPX लिखना होता तो क्या हो जाता? ये हो जाता सिंपल है. DX से DPX, DX DPX divided by H. DX DPX. DX must have been L. Total DX must have been one dimensional. L. L upon H constant. Simply DPX. That would have been one dimensional. GED लिखना. What is GED? Number of cells between E and E plus DE. And how E is governed? If E is governed by this, then what kind of motion I am assuming? Non-relativistic motion. Non-relativistic motion. Particles are big classical particles. Energy is only P square by 2m. If relativistic would have been there, energy would have been P square C square plus m naught square C raised to power 4. ये फार्मूला कहीं पर भी काम होगा, लेकिन जब अगर if the motion is relativistic, then P has to be written, P and dP has to be written from relativistic formula. If the good, so if non-relativistic motion, classical motion, I will always prefer E P square by 2m. P becomes root 2m. dP कितना हो गया जी? root 2m half E raised to power minus half dE. Good. Look, so GPDP नाम लिख दिया, बदल दिया नाम इसका. क्या लिख दिया GPDP की जगह? GED V upon H cube. V upon H cube. 4 pi P square 2m dP root 2m half E raised to power minus half d. How many dimensional motion? 3 dimensional motion. How many dimensional motion? 3 dimensional motion. 3D motion I have written. तभी ये P square आया है. अगर 1D motion होता सिंपल क्या होता? dpx. 1D motion would have been there, then I would have written dx dpx by h. GeD V upon H cube 4 pi 2me. Good. What is this? बताओ जी. 2 से देखो ये 2 कट गया. 2 pi V by H cube. देखो जी लिख दिया मैंने. I'm just rewriting. GeDE. When if I say E is equal to P square by 2m. If E is P square by 2m, then GeDE is what? 2 pi V by H cube 2m raised to power 3 by 2 E raised to power half dE. Remember, number of cells between E and E plus D for any dynamical system. How many cells are there between E and E plus D? 2 pi V by H cube 2m raised to power 3 by 2 E raised to power half डी. ठीक है जी. कुछ नहीं किया है. कैसे लिखा है? सिंपल GPDP लिखा है. एंड GPDP I have converted into that many number of cells are there. And what is cell? What is cell? I am dividing phase space into cells. And every cell is having same volume. बताइए भैया. Every cell is having same volume. So every cell is equally likely to be occupied. This is called postulate of a priori probability prior to occupation, because every cell is having same volume. Good and similar, identical. Therefore, every cell is equally likely to be occupied. Not that one cell is good, other cell is bad. Every cell is equally likely to be occupied. That is called postulate of a priori probability. Means prior to occupation, every cell is equally likely to be occupied. Good. And what was the central thing? N number of particles. What is the central problem? Total number of particles? N. 1 gram mole, 10 gram mole, 5 gram mole. You know immediately. 1 gram mole, how many particles? Avogadro number. If 10 gram moles, 10 Avogadro numbers. So number of particles are always fixed. Good. These particles have to be filled in some container, some volume V. Central problem समझ रहे हैं? N particles have to be filled in volume V. And these particles may have different energy. These energy levels may be discrete. I can divide this. I have already divided the whole phase space into different cells. And in fact, I will say broadly, I will divide phase space into first compartments. And compartment will be a collection of cells. In compartments, I will divide compartments into various cells. कंपार्टमेंट क्लास है. इसमें मैंने कहा 2 शुरू की 2 लाइन 1 कंपार्टमेंट, अदर 2 लाइन्स नेक्स्ट कंपार्टमेंट. सो आई कैन डिवाइड इनटू कंपार्टमेंट्स. देन कंपार्टमेंट्स आई कैन फर्दर सब डिवाइड इनटू cells. That is what I am going to do. So central problem, I have to get omega, thermodynamic probability, corresponding to what? N V, and every particle is having energy EI. Ith particle is having energy EI. What is EI? What is the value of EI? EI is nothing pi square by 2m. And pi is what? Pxi, Pyj, Pzk. Ith particle. What? Ith particle. So EI is the energy of ith particle, and only 3-dimensional motion if I am assuming, then this is Pxi, Pyj, Pi square by 2m. EI. EI is the energy of ith particle, ith cell, whatever you want to say. Good. So EI. I can say this also, right? Understand. I am dividing this whole. 0 energy. Then this energy may be E1. This energy may be E2. This energy may be E3. And इस इन्हीं में से एक जनरल किसी को क्या कह रहा हूँ? EI. I like to do it in vertical. I can have this way also. This is certain blocks having energy E1, certain having energy E2, certain energy E3. Different compartments. They are what? Different compartments. This one compartment with the energy G, 0. Other is E1, other one is E2, other one is E3. So on and so forth. Good. I say here how many? N0. Here how many? N1. Here how many? N2. Here how many? Ni. Clear? What will be total energy? How many particles with zero energy? N0. What is the total energy? इनकी क्या हो गई? Zero. What is the total energy of this? N1 E1. What is this here? N2 E2. Correct. So total energy is what? Ni EI. तो ध्यान रखो टोटल एनर्जी क्या हो गई? समीशन EI Ni is E. Total energy is EI Ni. This is distribution. Any statistics, this is the distribution. That is what is to be understood. Any statistics. What is this? Total number of particles were N. Total volume of the container was V. Total energy is E. Total, and how this total energy is distributed? Every particle may have energy EI. So EI, Ni, summation Ni. N0, E0, N1, E1 plus N2, E2 plus N3, N3. Good. N1. These N1s, N2s, Ni, they may be compartments. I can say also they are compartments having energy E1, having energy E2, having energy E3. E1 energy N1 particles, E2 energy N2 particles, EI energy Ni particles. And they may be continuous. देखो जी, ये पहला वाला सेल कब तक है? जब तक एनर्जी E1 नहीं हो जाती तब तक ये जीरोवत सेल ही है, ये जीरो सेल है. ये फर्स्ट सेल है, E1 एनर्जी फर्स्ट सेल अप टू व्हाट? E2 and starts from E1 and up to energy E2. This whole compartment I can divide into various cells. This is compartment. This is one compartment. Ith compartment. What is ith compartment? This starts from here, goes up to next level. This compartment of energy EI I can divide into various cells. Good. Whole space I will divide into compartments. Compartments I am calling up energy E1, E2, EI. Total energy was capital E. Total energy is capital E. Good. How I will do? Try to appreciate. देखो. This is a system. This is a system. Thermodynamic system. Having total number of particles capital N fixed. I know 1 gram mole. 10 gram of the gas. I know how many particles are there. In what volume? Wherever I want to fix. Volume is also fixed. And total energy, if I say, I am dividing this E into E1, E2, EI. We are doing this. E1, E2, EI. Different. How E1, E2, EI I am going to arrive at? From depending upon the nature of particles. Good. इधर वहां पे कोई रिजर्वायर रख दिया है. क्या रख दिया है बाहर इसके? रिजर्वायर, which is at the temperature T. Here is the temperature T. I can bring everything in contact with this. Good. So this total energy E of the system, that means this whole reservoir in due course of time will settle into what? Thermal equilibrium. Energy to bhul jaiye. This is thermal equilibrium. Whenever I will bring this reservoir in contact with this, it will set into thermal equilibrium. At thermal equilibrium T, all these levels, this total energy E, which is summation EI Ni, E1, E2, EI, I am getting at thermal equilibrium. Good. At thermal equilibrium, all the levels, this all E1, E2, EI, they are all at thermal equilibrium temperature. This is what I do. I keep in contact with the reservoir. I keep this whole assembly into this. Good. And I am only allowing here between this container and the reservoir, there is a wall or something. I am only allowing energy to be transferred. What? Only energy to be transferred. If only energy is allowed to be transferred, then what kind of system it will be? Closed system. Closed system. Closed system in statistical thermodynamics is called canonical ensemble. What is it called? Canonical ensemble. There are 3 kind of ensembles. पहले ensemble का भी मतलब आराम से समझ जाएं. देखो, E1 level N1 particles. E1 level, at E1 level, E1 compartment, n1 number of particles. I have to fill these n1 number of particles into different cells. Good. How many cells can be there? G1. I know between E and E plus D. It is E and E plus D. This is E1. It is E2. Between E1 and E2, there will be how many cells? I know how many cells are there. G, D. Good. Depending upon energy. So here I say cells is G1. Here I say cells is G2. Here I will say cells are Gi. Try to understand main problem. Any distribution I will fix up. Distribution is not important. Total number of particles were n. I have to fill those particles in volume V. This volume V I have divided into compartments corresponding to energy, and these compartments I have divided into various cells, and every volume is having equal. How volume? I have said volume element I have told you. Volume of the phase space I can consider divided by volume of a cell. I have found out the total number of cells anywhere. Good. So here I am dividing this into different cells. This between E and E plus D. So everywhere I will generalize. I would have called GED. तो यहाँ के बीच में कुछ होंगे G1, यहाँ कुछ होंगे G2, और इसमें कुछ होंगे क्या? GI. So basically problem is N1 number of particles have to be filled in G1 cells, and N2 number of particles to be filled in G2 cells, and Ni number of particles to be filled in Gi cells. That is the central problem. This omega thermodynamic probability I have to get corresponding to NVE. NVE is the total energy. When the assembly is at equilibrium temperature T, energy will also get fixed. बताइए भाई साहब, जैसे इसको टेम्परेचर में ला दिया, एनर्जी क्या है? काइनेटिक ही तो है ना, P square by 2m का तो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कर रहे हैं ना. When this whole assembly thermodynamic will brought in contact with the reservoir of temperature T, then whole assembly will become temperature T. So total energy will also get fixed. Only this total internal thing only I allow. This E1, E2 is higher than that, E3 is higher than that. So number of particles can go from one level to other level. That freedom I will allow. Because look, what are the constants? If I write for this NVE, first of all, this is called canonical ensemble. What is this called? There are three kinds of ensembles: micro canonical ensembles, canonical ensembles, and grand canonical ensembles corresponding to systems of thermodynamics. In whatever the concept of system in thermodynamics, in statistical thermodynamics, that is called ensemble. Ensemble is plural of assemblies. N1 particles in G1 cells is one assembly. N2 particles in G2 cells is another assembly. N3 particle in G3 cells is another assembly. So total is called ensemble. That is why it is called ensemble. Good. Three ensembles. Isolated system is not of any use in thermodynamics. Isolated system is microcanonical ensemble. Isolated system is neither particles are exchanged, neither mass is exchanged, nor energy is exchanged. What is isolated system? Neither particle is exchanged, neither mass is exchanged, nor energy is exchanged. So mass means particles. No exchange of particles or no exchange of energy. So in thermodynamics, energy is always exchanged. I don't understand. Thermodynamics means energy has to be exchanged. Then only thermodynamics, that is the subject matter of thermodynamics, the temperature should equal. Every system should try to reach to the equilibrium. So microcanonical ensemble, which is equivalent of isolated system, does not find any application in thermodynamics, statistical thermodynamics. Microcanonical ensemble is equivalent of isolated systems. Neither exchange of particles nor exchange of energy. In thermodynamics, only two kinds of systems find applications. Then closed system. Closed system means energy can be exchanged, number of particles cannot be exchanged. Number of particles is not exchanged. So this I have said, this whole assembly was there with NVE. I bring in contact with another reservoir at temperature T. Then heat is exchanged by this wall, and system, this whole system also becomes at temperature T. This kind of system which is exchanging, there is no exchange of particle, only exchange of heat. This reservoir of high capacity with temperature T, and this was the system having n particles, volume V with total energy E of that. Whenever I will bring them in contact, whole system will be at temperature T, the thermal equilibrium temperature T. Then at that thermal temperature only I am going to get number of particles at energy level EI. What I have to get? Number of particles at energy level EI. Because if I know number of particles at energy level EI, probability is automatically known. What is probability? What will be the probability of this? Ni by n. N1 particles is first level, total number of particles are n. So n1 by n could be broadly the probability of occupation of energy level En. E1, energy level E2, n2 by n. Energy level EI, ni means nei, number of particles in energy level EI divided by total number of particles. So if I find out number of particles at any energy level, then I know what? Probability. This will be probability distribution. So target is that I have to get ni. How many particles are there at energy EI at equilibrium temperature T? For generating this whole assembly at equilibrium temperature T, I have made it as an as a closed system. Closed system means exchange of heat is allowed. Whole assembly becomes at temperature T. Correct? So this is called canonical ensemble. Chemical systems, open systems, even there may be exchange of particles. Then that kind of system will be called grand canonical systems. Grand canonical systems is equivalent of my open systems. Grand canonical ensembles will be equivalent of my open systems, which can not only exchange heat, apart from exchange of heat, they can also exchange the number of particles. Then chemical potential will also come into their play. But we will be deriving everything by assuming that system at canonical ensemble. What kind of ensemble? Canonical ensemble. So target is central probability. I have to define microstate. Microstate corresponding to what system? N, V, E. N, V total energy. So here, try to understand what are the constant. First of all, summation Ni is N. What is capital N? Capital N number of particles I have divided into different compartments Ni. Summation Ni is N. Summation Ni is N. N is constant. Good. Total number of particles are constant. If I differentiate, summation Dni is 0. Summation Dni is 0. What does it mean? If there are just two levels, then dn1 plus dn2 is 0. That means dn1 is equal to minus dn2. As many number of particles will be coming from dn2 level, they will be going to dn1. If the system is having just two levels, एक से जितने भागेंगे टोटल पार्टिकल कांस्टेंट हैं. गुड. 3 फ्लोर की बिल्डिंग है और टोटल ताला लगा दिया है बाहर से कि कोई पार्टिकल इधर उधर जाने की फ्रीडम नहीं है किसी को. Then what will happen? Only you can go from one floor to other floor to other floor. Good. So dn1 plus dn2 plus dni is 0. Good. dn is the change. Dn is the change. dni means number of particles crossing from ith level. dn1 plus this is ith. This is one constant. Second is total energy is constant. Total energy कितना दी? Summation EI, Ni is E. When it is brought in contact with the reservoir, this total energy will also become constant. बताइए भैया. N number of particles per particle, if the temperature is there, F by 2 kT, so this energy can be also constant. This is the constant. This is the constant. So कहीं पर भी total number लिखना है. If the distribution is there, N1 E1 plus N2 E2 plus Ni EI is E. If I differentiate, देखो, these energy levels are fixed. Can I change these levels? ये तो 10 फुट पे है, 20 फुट पे है, 30 फुट पे. एक फ्लोर की हाइट कितनी? 10 फुट है. तो ये 10 फुट पे लग गया, ये 10 फुट पे लग गया, ये 10 फुट पे लग गया. एनर्जी लेवल्स तो अपनी फिक्स्ड है. बाई सम फार्मूला आई एम गोइंग टू गेट n/2 n plus vibrational motion n plus half h nu, 3/2 h nu, 5/2 h nu, so on and so forth by any formula. This energy levels E1, E2, EI are what? Fixed. E1, E2, EI are what? Fixed. What can change? Only Ni can change. I am only giving freedom for particles. So differentiate. Summation EI dni is also 0. क्या जी? Summation EI dni is also 0. Summation EI ni is total. Third, when I brought them in equilibrium by connecting with the reservoir, equilibrium state is the state of maximum probability. Equilibrium state is the state of maximum probability. When I am going to get these distributions, when are these distributions equilibrium? N1, N2, Ni, not that when the reaction is taking place, when everything has stabilized, whole assembly has become temperature T. Good. So these are at equilibrium populations. What are they? Equilibrium populations. So I have to get this distribution. Distribution means getting Ni. Distribution means getting Ni, N1, N2, Ni. These things I am going to get. This distribution has to be obtained at equilibrium. And what do I know equilibrium? State of maximum probability. So third main postulate is that we are arriving at every thermodynamical system tries to reach towards equilibrium state. That means it tries to reach towards a state of maximum probability, and probability will better write in terms of logarithmics. So ln omega, for when the probability is maximum, derivative, first derivative has to be set to 0. So equilibrium state is the state of maximum probability, therefore summation d ln omega is 0. Third, summation equilibrium state is the state of maximum, everywhere I have to use this, maximum probability, maximum probability. So I am going to write d summation ln omega I. Ln omega I means probability of occupation of omega I, energy level EI, Ni particle. D, differentiation of ln omega is what? 0. ठीक है जी. And fourth was postulate of a priori postulate. Postulate of a priori probability. That means every cell is equally likely to be occupied because volume of every cell in the phase space is same. Volume of every phase space is same. Good. One more. Let us just build up S is equal to K ln omega, 0th level. Then I will divide how different cells and all those things. There are 4 postulated statistical thermodynamics. Total number of particles are constant, total volume is constant, total energy is constant, and equilibrium state is the state of maximum probability, and every cell is equally likely to be occupied. And what kind of ensemble I am considering? Canonical ensemble, equivalent to your closed system. Every thermodynamical system, exchange of heat has to be at least allowed. Exchange of heat is allowed. System is said to be your closed system, and they are brought. This is the technique to bring them in equilibrium. Good. Now, how this S is equal to K ln omega comes? Try to appreciate. There are 2 systems. This is one system. Here it is having this side. This is a wall. This is having entropy S1. This system is having entropy S2. Probability of this system is omega 1. Probability of this system is omega 2. I could have called also N1 particles and N2 particles. Try to understand. This may be any wall, any permeable wall, so that I can allow flow of something. Or you can also think in this way. This is hot water, this is cold water. This is hot water and cold water, and they are separated by a wall. Wall is removed, mixture is formed. Good. And when the mixture will be formed, what will happen? When wall is there, then this side is at higher temperature T1, this side is at lower temperature T1. There will be entropy of hot water, there will be entropy of cold water. They are equilibrium state. Now when I have to get the entropy, when this wall is removed, then what will happen? Heat will flow, water will flow from higher region to lower region until and unless equilibrium is established. Good. So final state is equilibrium is established, lukewarm water is formed. Immediately, as soon as I will remove this wall, lukewarm water will be formed. Good. So net entropy change of hot water and cold water converting into lukewarm water. This is a system. System is hot water converting to lukewarm water, cold water also converting into lukewarm water. Correct? What is the net entropy change? S1, that is the entropy change of hot water plus entropy change of cold water. That is the net entropy. That is how. S is S1 plus S2. This thing is called extensive property. Entropy is an extensive variable, additive variable. Both these events simultaneously. Both these events occurs simultaneously. So net probability omega. If I say this is having probability omega 1, hot water converting into mixture is having probability omega 1. Cold water converting into mixture is probability omega 2. When mixture is formed, both the events occur at the same time, simultaneously. That means what is the net probability? Independent events. Net probability is omega 1, omega 2. Omega is omega 1, omega 2. Good. And behavior, this yes. This system tries to reach equilibrium, and equilibrium is the state of maximum probability. And typically it goes into the state of maximum probability also. So max probability, this entropy, system reaches towards maximum entropy, and it reaches, in the probability wise it is reaching towards the state of maximum probability. So S must be function of omega. S must be function of omega. Some function of omega. S must be some function of omega. And S is S1 plus S2. S is S1 plus S2. So भैया S1 क्या होगा भाई साहब आपका? F omega 1. बोले भाई साहब, what is S1? F omega 1. Probability of the first one, hot water converting into mixture. Omega 1 is the probability. S is F omega 1. And S2 will be F omega 2. तो क्या हो गया फाइनल, क्या होगा? F omega is equal to F omega 1 plus F omega 2. ओमेगा क्या है जी? ओमेगा 1, ओमेगा 2. So I am looking out for entropy as a function, which is a function of omega, which is function of omega. Good. And because entropy is an additive variable, S1 plus S2, S is nothing, function of omega 1, F was function of omega, omega is omega 1, omega 2 product of both the events. F omega 1, omega 2 is F omega 1 plus F omega 2. Correct? I am trying to find out the function. F omega 1, omega 2 is what? F omega 1 plus F omega 2. What I have taken? Yes, I have taken as function of omega, which was F omega 1, omega 2. Es1 I have taken to be function of omega 1. Es2 I have taken as function of omega 2. ठीक है जी? Nothing wrong? Driving. Derivation S is equal to KL and omega. What I am doing? Standard derivation S is equal to KL and omega. I have assumed S is only function of omega. Log नहीं समझा है मैंने क्या किया? S is a function of omega. This I have considered. S is कहाँ से वापस आएगा? इससे आ गया. चलो F omega. Good. Good. ठीक है. F omega 1. Good. Partially differentiate with respect to omega 1 and partially differentiate with respect to omega 2. This equation, once I will differentiate with respect to omega 1, then I will differentiate with respect to omega 2. Twice, two things I will do, separate things. Partially differentiating. This is I say 1. तो क्या हो जाएगा बताओ? Del F omega 1 omega 2 upon omega 1. Good. Which I could have called F dash omega 1 omega 2. Then differentiation of omega 1 omega 2 with respect to omega 1. क्या हो गया? Omega 2. This term is omega 2 F dash omega 1 omega 2. Partially differentiating with respect to omega 1. What is the next time? Next step. Next. Here I will differentiate f omega 1 with respect to omega 1. What it will happen? Del f omega 1 divided by del omega 1. Partial derivative here is same as full derivative, because f is only function of omega 1. So partial derivative is same as full derivative. Let it be. Plus this will become 0. Del f omega 2 upon del omega 1, 0. Because this is only function of omega 2. Clear? Good. I am not doing, Boltzmann is doing. 1. Good. What is the next one? Similarly, whenever I am differentiating with this omega 1, f dash omega 1 omega 2, what it becomes? Del f omega 2 upon del omega 2, which is also full derivative. This is 2. This is 2. Next study is df by d omega. This is same as df omega 1 upon d omega 1. This is df omega 2 upon d omega 2. Correct? Full derivative is only function of this I multiply by omega 1, this I multiply by omega 2. Left hand side both become same. This I multiply by omega 1, this becomes omega 1. This I multiply by omega 2, this also omega 2. Good. Left hand side of both of them are same. Left hand side of both of them are same. So what is the equation becomes? Omega 1 df omega 1 upon d omega 1 is equal to omega 2 df omega 2 upon d omega 2. Correct? Correct? Both these are separate events. They must be equal to a separate constant. If two things are there, they must be taken as a separate constant. When they are equal, I call this constant. We will call this constant in due course of time as Boltzmann constant. Right now I am calling it K. Then I will say KB. I am calling because both these things exist. So what happens? Try to appreciate. From any of them you write. Now df omega 1 is what? K d omega 1 upon omega 1. Df omega 1 is K. Variable separable. Variable separable. I have obtained what function is f omega. F omega 1 integrate both the sides is what? K ln omega 1. F omega 1 is क्या भैया? K ln omega 1. Similarly, f omega 2 is what? K ln omega 2. दूसरे वाले second thing I would have done. Good. What was S1? What I have taken S1? F omega 1. S1 I have taken as function of f omega 1. S is f omega. So it is K ln omega 1. S2 is K ln omega 2. In general, S is what? K ln omega. That is how this logarithmic function is arrived at. That is how both two things I have connected. S becomes K ln omega. This is the derivation of S becoming K ln omega. Entropy is a thermodynamic variable. Omega is a statistical variable. I have connected. This formula is regarded as a bridge between thermodynamics and mathematical statistics. S is equal to K ln omega. How it has been arrived at, derivation should be clear, because once they have asked in the entropy sheet, I have left that part. S is equal to K ln omega. How S is equal to K ln omega has been derived? This is the derivation for S is equal to K ln omega. And definitely you know S is a state variable. So physical meaning will be given to ds. ds will be K d ln omega. K is a constant. K is a constant. So ds will become K DL n ओमेगा, जहाँ पर भी जरूरत पड़ेगी देखो ये यूज करूंगा बाउंड्री कंडीशन. S is equal to KL n ओमेगा. If I write thermodynamical system, I समीशन ओवरऑल आई ऐसे लिखूंगा ना, S1 प्लस S2 प्लस S2 KLN ओमेगा 1 इंटू KLN ओमेगा 2 KLN ओमेगा 1 ओमेगा 2 सम commensurate. That is what I have studied. Yes, it's KLN omega, correct. Omega I, summation overall I. DS is K D of summation ln omega I. At equilibrium dln omega I 0. At equilibrium, but it is not equilibrium. Value is DS is K dln omega I, correct. Good. If I multiply by T both the sides, T ds, then here it will become. This was Boltzmann constant. Right of this, I am just rewriting. This is df. This was df kV. Multiply by T both the sides. This side kV. This also I will use this condition anywhere. So T ds is what? kBT summation dln omega I. How I am going to fix up beta? Try to understand some constant. Same equation I am going to use. Yes, it's KLN omega, ds will become K dln omega, T ds becomes this. What is T ds? Total energy content. dq, de. This is de. And what is de? Summation ei dni. So this is the boundary condition. Summation ei dni must be equal to kBT d summation ln omega I. This is the boundary condition where I am going to get some constant by the help of this. Summation ei dni is kBT dln omega. Wherever the need will arise. Wherever the need will arise. Good. Now try to understand what is microstate, what is microstate. Microstate means this omega I is basically thermodynamic probability. And what is thermodynamic probability? I said in the beginning, number of microstate accessible to a macrostate. Total problem was total number of particles were n. Those n particles I have divided into various compartments. Having particles, compartments are derived on the basis of EI. EI, energy level E1 one compartment. ट्रेन में होते हैं ना, एक सीट दो सीट डिपेंडिंग अपॉन दैट. गुड. सो मैक्रो स्टेट. मैक्रो स्टेट मीन्स इज n1 n2 ni fixed. What I do? n1 n2 one particular value of n1 n2 ni. This is macro state. In macro state I am not concerned about which particle is going to occupy how. Which particle is going to occupy which cell, not my consideration. What is macro state? n1 n2 ni. n1 particles in G1 cells, n2 particles in G2 cells, ni particles in EI cells, GI cells. Anyway, this one particular value of n1 n2 ni is called macro state. I am just going to explain. For simplicity, I will just consider, simplest I will start with, two cells. There are, let us say, GI is, this I am distributing, anything, this 3, 2. This is one macro state. So I distribute, let us say, any particular value of n1 n2 ni I take. This is 2 and 2, let us say. Two particles. 2 particles in one, and let us say 3 in other. They can have any values. n1, n2, ni. In one level, one EI level, there can be n1 particles. This is the central problem. This is EI How many particles? Ni. And how many cells I have got here? Gi cells. Gi cells. These particular value of Ni, one particular value of Ni I take. Different. Here is N1, here could be N2, here could be N3. Total particles are summation Ni is N. Good. Total particles, try to understand, total particles are your N, summation Ni is N. Here Ni, this also means this is even G1 cells, N1 particles. N1 particles at energy level even. So even is the energy level compartment, even is the compartment. I have divided this compartment to how many cells? G1 cells. These are cells. Problem is basically all of them are independent events. N1 particles in G1 and N2 particle in E2, Ni particle in Gi. All of them are independent events. My central problem is how to get Ni particles in Gi cells. Ni particles in Gi cells. This I am going to get. Omega. When I say omega I, there is a thermodynamic probability of occupation of energy level Ei. How many particles at energy level Ei? Ni particles. And this whole region Ei energy level has been divided into how many cells? Gi cells. This means N1 in G1. Forget this N1. इसको capital समझ लो चाहते हो. I am not interested into these things. Here I am saying N1 into this, N1, N2 into this, N1 with energy level E1. Here in G, the total are Gi. Total cells are Gi. So in this G1 cells, N1 particles are there. G2 cells and 2 particles are there. Good, correct? So now correspond this one particular setup N1, N2. One particular setup N1, N2. When I specify this N1, N2, Ni, then it is called macro state. Specifying, so if I say, and how they are to be occupied. So if I take two particles in 2 cells, just I have taken 2 cells. G1 is your 2 and N1 is 2. How many different ways I can occupy 2 particles? You cannot find out so simply. Good. Now depends upon first these 2 particles. First question must be whether the particles are distinguishable or indistinguishable. If these particles are distinguishable, then these particles are A and B. I am dealing with 2, because 2 is very simple to explain. Then we will extend. If these particles are distinguishable, then they are AB. If these particles are indistinguishable, then A or B, anything, they are solid. So this choice, how many ways I can put Ni particles in Gi cells, will depend upon whether the particle is distinguishable or indistinguishable. So like 2 cells. There are how many ways I can make 2 cells? Both the particles can be there in this cell. And then another question is there, distinguishable or indistinguishable. Then there is another question. Is there another very important question comes, whether there is a restriction of number of particles per cell or there is no restriction. That is equally important to determine how the distribution is to be obtained. Distribution means getting Ni into Gi. Means was N1 in G1 and N2 in G2 and Ni in Gi. So I get N1 in G1, same way I will get N2 in E2, N2 in G2 and same is Ni in Gi. So general problem I am saying, getting Ni particles in Gi cells. Here as an example I have taken G1 is 2, N1 is 2. How they are to be filled. So now the first 2 questions are there. First question is whether the particle is distinguishable or indistinguishable. If the particle is distinguishable, then particle can be distinctly written A and B. If the particles are indistinguishable, then it is subject matter of quantum statistics. Good. So if it is a distinguishable particles, A and B, then second question comes, in order to fill them, is there any restriction number of particles or not? Is there any restriction on the number of particles in a cell? There is a second question, very fundamental question. If there is no restriction, in classical statistics, there is no restriction on number of particles per cell. All particles can occupy a cell. All. अभी दो किया, 6 होते, all 6 can also occupy this cell. There is no restriction. No restriction. Second, particles are distinguishable and there is no restriction. This is the characteristic of Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution. No restriction on number of particles per cell. That is the second criteria. So there are two, both the two can occupy here. Then this, then could be both in this, then this could be A and B, then could be B and A. There are 4 ways. There are 4 ways. Good. They are all called microstates. What are they called? Microstates. Corresponding to 2, 2. This is a microstate. There are number of microstates. 4 microstates are accessible. 4 microstates to a particular microstate. All of them will have what probability? 1 by 4. Probability will become 1 microstate. How many this accessible? This. Good. How many ways if I want to find out? Number of microstates? 4. Good. Generalize. Let us write. Now if I say GI is 3 cells, 3 cells, 2 particles. Vice versa also I can do. 3 particles in 2 cells. That also I would have done. I am just doing 3 cells. 3 cells means this. See, how many ways you can generate? 2 particles, 2 distinguishable particles with no restriction. No restriction. Ni is 2. How many ways? No. Just see how many? 3. Both of them could be here. Then these are empty. Then here only one A is there. Then this or B. How many? 9. These can be rotated into different ways. इतना करेंगे समय खराब हो जाएगा हमारा. देखिए, they are 9. How many ways? 9 ways. How? समझ जाइए. इसमें 2, 2, 1, 0. 3 combinations are possible in this. 2, 1, 0. Here also 3. All the 3 combinations are there. 0, 1, 2. Here also 0. How many total ways? 9 ways. This is 9. This will have 9. Vice versa if I would have done. Ni 3, Gi 2. 2 cells, 3 particles. Then 3 distinguishable particles. Then how many ways? फार्मूला में लगाओ, देख के बनाओ. हाउ मेनी? 8 ways. 8 ways. Good. 8 ways. करके देख लो. There are 8 ways. So what is the generalized formula? Gi raised to power Ni. How many ways I can fix them? Gi raised to power Ni. These are the number of what? Microstates. Number of microstates, and they are obtained depending upon what kind of distribution. Classical distribution means this distinguishable particles. Classical distribution means distinguishable particle with no restriction. Both the things I have used. No restriction, distinguishable particles. Then how many microstates? How many microstates? Gi raised to power Ni. Good. And microstate is N1, N2, Ni, N1. So if G1 into N1, if I have to pull N1 particle into G1 cells, then how many microstates are there? G1 raised to power N1. And macrostate was what? What is macrostate? What was macrostate? Macrostate is N1, N2, Ni. That is microstate. And N1 was to be filled in what? GI cells. How many ways N1 I can fill into? G1 raised to power N1. This G2 raised to power N2. Gi raised to power Ni. All multiplication. All multiplication. Correct. So they are macrostates. If Ni particles has to be filled in Gi cells and the cells, these particles are distinguishable with no restriction, which is the characteristic of Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution. Distinguishable particles with no restriction. Then how many microstates are there? Gi raised to power Ni. Then go further. Once again start Gi2, Ni2. One partition is good enough to write two cells. If these particles are indistinguishable, that means both of them are same. Now once again the question whether restriction or no restriction. First of all, particles are indistinguishable, then restriction is there or restriction is not there. If restriction, Maxwell-Boltzmann, no restriction. Maxwell-Boltzmann, no restriction. Even Bose-Einstein, no restriction. Bose-Einstein also no restriction on number of particles per cell. Restriction is imposed only by Pauli's exclusion principle, and Pauli's exclusion principle holds good only for half-speed particles. So if the full integral speed is there, that is the second question. But if I get the distribution in such a way that whatever the condition was there in the Maxwell-Boltzmann, same condition I am imposing here, no restriction on number of particles per cell. No restriction. If I use no restriction, then I call them Bose-Einstein. Bose-Einstein. Good. Two particles into, both of them can occupy here. This is empty. Here this is empty. Both of them occupy here. Then what? AB. Oh, sorry. A. Now, earlier there were four because they were distinguishable particles in AB. BA were two different things. Now only there are three. Only three is there. अब बताओ, if Gi is 6, Ni is 5. How many ways with this thing? Can you count? फिर तो फार्मूला ही लगाना पड़ेगा आपको कोई ना कोई. तो फार्मूला आपने याद कर रखा है, मैं फार्मूला डिराइव कराना है आपको मुझे. तो इतने बड़े से अगर इतना बड़ा ले लूँगा तो आपको बनाने में उल्टा लटक जाना पड़ेगा, आप बना नहीं पाओगे. कैसे? चलो बनाओ. कैसे बनेगा? 6 cells. 6 cells means I have to create 5 partitions. 5 partitions. 6 cells. Good. 6 cells, 5 partitions. Means Gi cells were there, then Gi minus 1 partitions. All 5 particles can occupy every cell. Here also all 5 can be there. First of all, in this first cell, this could be 0, empty. I can have 1 particle, I can have 2 particles, I could have 3 particles, I could have 4 particles, I could have 5 particles, I could have 6 particles. All the 5 particles I can fix into this. All the 5. Here also I can fill all the 5 from 0 to 5. Here also I can 5. So how many total ways? In order to fix this total combination, how many I can make? I have to choose 5. In any cell I can choose 5. All the 6. 5 partitions. So out of Ni plus Gi minus 1. I have to choose. Here 11 different combinations in this level I can make. Ni plus Gi minus 1. 5 cells. Here how many different ways I can get? 5 particles I can fill here. They have to be by Ni plus Gi minus 1. How many combinations? That many different combinations of them are possible. For example, this will become 10C5. There are 10C5 different ways to get this. 10C5 to get this you can calculate. It will be easier if you write 3. That is why instead of writing this, you write next go Gi3, Ni5, Ni2. Gi5, Ni2, 4C2. 4C2 means factorial 4, factorial 2, factorial 2. 4C2, how many? Just check. 6. This is 4C2 and 4 is factorial 4, factorial 2, factorial 2. 6 ways. You can have only 6 ways will be there for this. Generalize. This is difficult to make. You make next similar ones is analyze. If I take this Gi3, Ni2 and particles are A. How many different ways are there? Try to appreciate. Here I can have both the particles, both cells empty. Then I have here A empty. Then I can have 0, A empty. Then I can have this is 0, A 0. Then also I can have 0, 0, A. Then what else kind of I can have 0, A 0, A. Is there any other possible? Is there 3 partitions, 3 cells, 2 particles? There are only these 6 ways possible. So now write down the generalized formula. If Gi into Ni, or I would have taken that 6. So from these are the 6 ways. There are 6 ways. How I can write the formula for this? Omega I, thermodynamic probability of this omega I means what? Number of microstates. What is omega I? Number of microstates corresponding to this distribution. How omega I am writing? No restriction I have imposed. No restriction. This is Ni Gi minus 1. Out of that, how many I have to choose? Cni. C means combination. C means combination. Ni plus Gi minus 1. Cni. This is for your indistinguishable particle with no restriction. If they are indistinguishable particle with restriction, number of combinations will be further reduced. Same thing, start with this Gi2, Ni2, and these are there. Okay. Then what? If there is a restriction, 1 particle per cell, only 3-dimensional motion, 1 particle per cell. If I impose this is Pauli's exclusion principle. Spin motion is there, then there are 2 particles per cell. But no spin, if I do not consider, energy is only p square by 2m. If spin motion is considered, then energy becomes p square by 2m plus s square by 2i, half I omega I square. Spinning on its own axis, then there must be rotational energy. But what energy? Here I am considered p square by 2m, that means only 3-dimensional motion I am considering. Then 1 particle per cell, that is the Pauli's exclusion principle. 1 particle per cell. And there will be 2 particles per cell when there are spin half particles, and spin has to be considered. Spin we do not consider because energy is only p square by 2m here. So, what? 1 particle per cell? There is only one way. Yadi, there is only one way. And for this thing, when there is a restriction, This restriction is imposed by Pauli's exclusion principle. Pauli's exclusion principle talks about 4 quantum numbers, 3 corresponding to translational, 4 corresponding to spin. That means 4-dimensional motion is to be considered in Pauli's exclusion principle. So if I apply Pauli's exclusion principle for 3-dimensional motion, which I have considered that energy to be p square by 2m. If I consider energy to be p square by 2m, then only one particle per cell. This restriction, one particle per cell, will also tell you that Gi has to be greater than Ni. In one cell, there can be at the most one particle, cannot be 2 particles. If there is only one particle per cell, then cell, and if some cell goes empty and every particle has to be occupied, how I am going to make all particles occupy some other state? Only when Gi has to be greater than Ni. That is there only in Fermi-Dirac statistics. So here I cannot have Gi2 Ni3. I cannot fill. Gi2 Ni3 cannot be filled. Here it will be only Gi3 Ni2. Greater than equal to. So this imposition is there. One particle per cell restriction is there. Gi is greater than Ni. How many ways I can put Ni particle in Gi cells? यहाँ जैसे two only one way was here. How it is? It is GiCNi. It is simply this omega I is number of microstates. What are they? Number of microstates. I would have simply written GiCNi. GiCNi. They are number of microstates to a macrostate. GiCNi. So ये सब याद रख लो. So what are number of microstates? Number of microstates. MB distribution. What are number of microstates? Gi raised to power Ni. Bose-Einstein Ni plus Gi minus 1. Gi minus 1. Gi, that many partitions. Ni plus Gi minus 1 C Ni and Fermi-Dirac Gi C Ni. कुछ घर में जाके पढ़ो और कुछ पूछना तो कल से पूछना. इसके बाद सिंपल मैथमेटिकल ट्रीटमेंट करना है, कुछ नहीं. देयर नथिंग. आई विल गिव यू फ्यू अदर एग्जांपल्स, बट यही निकालना है. ओनली दिस इलस्ट्रेशंस आर देयर. दे आर व्हाट? नंबर ऑफ microstates to a particular macrostates. If I ask you how many macrostates are there, the definitely question must be whether distinguishable particle or indistinguishable particle. If there is a distinguishable particle, is there restriction or there is no restriction? So that is how I have arrived at by knowing all the nature of them. इसके बाद 10-10 मिनट में डेरिवेशन होने हैं सारे. सिर्फ यही मेन चीज़ है. That was the main crux. Already all constants I have already told you. I have explained what are ensembles. Good. So tomorrow same time, same place. Class is concluded.